Alright, so this is a video on variables. So let's right click on play and go to new class. And let's call this variables. Okay, let's turn on public static. Alright. So let's talk about just sort of the anatomy of the program. For now, all of your code should go inside of main. Main is the starting point of our program. So if I type in SYSO, control, and spacebar, and I type hello world, and I hit F11, you can see it print hello world on the screen. And it's doing it because it runs main first. So let's take a look at initializing a variable. So let's say we want to create a variable called integer, or a variable that stores integer. An integer is any whole number. That's 20, 11, 13. Notice that this is not a floating point number or a double, which is 12.0. A float or a double is a number that has a decimal value. So you can see here 12.0. These are all integers. They have no decimal value. So let's go ahead and create a variable that's an integer. So let's call it int width. So say we're creating a program that has the height and width of an object. Well, we have an integer called width. Let's go ahead and set its width to 20. And then I'm going to put a semicolon on this end. Notice that there's a yellow line underneath it. If I highlight over it, it says remove width in all assignments. If we look at the first line here, it says the value of the local variable width is not used. That means all we did is create a variable called width and we assigned it a value 20. We didn't actually use it. So let's say I write syso, holding the control key and hitting spacebar. It'll autocomplete system.out. And I just typed the word width in here. Notice that the yellow line disappeared. The reason it disappeared is because now we're using width. Okay, so let's go ahead and press our play button or hit F11. And you'll notice width, holding the value 20, now spits out 20 to the screen. What if I change int to double? You might be thinking, well, it's probably going to print 20 out again because 20 here, I never added the 0.0. Well, because I assigned it a double value, it automatically assumes that I want width to hold 20 decimal point 0. So let's go ahead and hit F11. And what do you get? 20 decimal point 0. You cannot do, say you want to do 1.5 plus another value, 2.5, and they're both integers. It will automatically truncate the decimal value after. So you have to make sure that if you ever want to do any sort of math, like 1.5 and 2.5, you assign those variables as doubles. Okay, let's take a look at a string. So I'm going to go ahead and type the word string name equals comma Alex. Notice there's that pesky yellow line again. Well, we know from our previous example that the reason we're getting it is if we highlight over it, it says the value of the local variable name is not used. So let's sys out again, and let's just type in the word name. Notice that the line disappeared, and let's hit F11. So now we have a string variable and a double variable. What if we want to store a single letter? That's easy. We do char, it's lowercase c, char, right? Name, or we could do letter equals single quotes a. Oh, there's that yellow line again. Well, that's okay. We already know how to fix that. So sys out letter, hit F11, and we get a. So that's a character, a double, and a letter, double, a name, which is a string, and a character. What's really cool about string variables is they're actually objects, and we'll learn a lot about objects when we get into inheritance and polymorphism and all that other good stuff. But say I want the name, the letters stored in name to all be uppercase. What's really cool is if I type the word name here and I put a dot after it, you can see that it has all of these super cool parameters that come with it, right? So equals and all this other stuff. Well, let's say we want to make it to uppercase. So name dot to upper uppercase. Right? This is a pre-made method. So let's go ahead and copy this line name here and paste it after. And let's hit F11. Notice that Oh, we never actually put our name in here, so let's do name. What we want to be uppercase. Oh, you know what? Another issue we have to do is we actually have to store this value. Sorry, something I forgot. So name 2 equals to uppercase. So let's go ahead and name this name 2. I'm going to go ahead and hit F11. And we get Alex all uppercase. So these different string values have different parameters that we can use later. So that's pretty much the basics of variables.